through our actions, we create the actualizations. Realization is what we become aware of, what we learn, what we realize for ourselves. And that's really where it begins. We're talking about time here. And the things that happen in my own life, to become more aware of that, of what I'm here to do and what this is all about, and how this can be of benefit to you, realize to actualize. You can change your reality, change your life by not only becoming aware of what it is you realize and what you think about, but really by changing your focus, and that's the key. With your thoughts, you create your reality, your world. Important one is here to also remember is to surrender to the outcome, surrender the attachment. Surrender the will, the agenda of what I want, and to just allow for things to happen, to allow for the wisdom of the universe to guide the way, to show the way, to lead the way. And that is from within ourselves, as we align ourselves with those forces within ourselves which make us a human being. And in this we are all connected, that essence we all share as all is one. That is part of the philosophy of Realize to Actualize. It's a very basic awareness, very simplistically looking at life and the complexities of life, and how to become more alive, how to become more connected to that essence, that nature within ourselves. But it's not just the philosophy. The key here is the practice. The putting this awareness into practice, and living that day by day, every moment of your life. And so one thing I want to do is, beyond this channel here on YouTube, to now, as I'm gaining more focus and become more organized, is to do a broadcasting, a channel. Maybe a 24-hour channel where also other people can participate in meetings, in lectures, in workshops, in a party. I think it's also very important to not just talk about the serious aspects of life, but to also have some joy in the process, some humor, some dancing. And through this we really get to know each other. Through this we really get to know ourselves, as we create this environment, this experience of community building through communication. The learning, quote unquote, we receive as we go to public school or even to private school. These things that we are told there, academic achievement, our educational system, which most all of our systems, our political system, our economic system, but there are major flaws in that. And what those systems stimulate in us human beings, how we evolve within those systems. In a very unnatural way, very synthetic way. And so the real question here is also how to develop systems that are more conducive to human development, to really stimulate the best in us. And so we can unfold naturally and freely, just like a tree, instead of learning to function like a machine in this world. Which in a way we are. Our brain is like a computer, and we're all part of the network, which you can call the universal consciousness, or the mass consciousness of this world. The consciousness which has allowed for all of the suffering and all the war and all the violence throughout human history. Stuck in the illusion of duality, mine versus yours, my God versus your God. So the new consciousness is about realizing that we are all that, and we need to come together there. We need to embrace each other there and honor each other, instead of simply rejecting what we don't want, what is uncomfortable to us, what we don't agree with. The only true way to bring about oneness is through openness, by opening ourselves up to others, and especially to those things we don't agree with, or those things that irritate us. Because only those things can guide us to a better understanding of who we really are. And there we find our true nature as spiritual beings, as creative beings. And here we are gathered together as co-creators. Co-create and recreate the world in a new awareness. begins in how we live, how individually we live our lives, how we evolve into our nature. Or if you just want to be part of or stay within the old consciousness, we are stuck within our own patterns, stuck within our own comfort zone, the routine, which gives us a sense of security and protection. Now, this is not really who we are, as we are not these producers and consumers which we were trained to become. Again, the new awareness is going way beyond that, to understand who you really are. And there we'll find that the essence of everything is love. And this is how we approach other people, how we listen, how we think, how we feel, how we deal with feelings, how we deal with experience, especially the difficult ones. The rejection, and the sorrow, the drama, the loss, the heartache, how we deal with those experiences, how we respond to that. It's not really what happens to us, but how we respond to what happens to us that creates our reality, that creates our world. And all experiences come to us, especially the difficult ones. They are a test. These things happen, experiences happen to help us understand ourselves better. Like the consciousness, the mass consciousness, and all the terrible things in the world, not just lately, you know, with what happened in Japan, you know, and all these tsunamis and all this war and all these revolutions and all these senseless killings that are still taking place all around the world and throughout human history. And all the suffering there had to happen, and all the injustice had to happen in order for us to remember that, to realize that, because we have created that for exactly that reason.